The European Union chief Ursula von der Leyen has met with the bipartisan delegation of the US lawmakers to discuss rising tensions over Greenland. The Denmark territory issue was also flagged, we're told, with the EU calling for closer NATO cooperation. Arctic security being highlighted as well. Recent tariff threats also on the agenda. Also, we're told that many from European leaders have slammed this escalating trade war and warned that President Trump applying tariff time and again is bringing undue pressure. What could happen next? Rishabh, how could this proceed from here? Europe is clearly concerned about what the United States is saying, but how could this impact the trade between the European Union as well as the United States, and what is the larger impact that it will have across the globe?
See, one thing that we are gathering while talking to various diplomats worldwide, everyone right now is waiting for the midterm election in the United States, hoping that the House will go the other way around and will have an opposition from within the United States against Donald Trump. That is what everyone is wishing for. And that's the reason we are seeing that leaders are not only meeting Republicans, they are meeting bipartisan lawmakers to ensure that if not Republicans, the Democrats understand their woes. And in a way, if things go north for the world, not for Donald Trump, in the midterm elections and House goes to Democrats, then things can be tackled in a better manner. And that's the reason that we are seeing that Ursula von der Leyen or others are meeting Democrat leaders as well. In Davos, remember, WEF, the World Economic Forum, is underway. Donald Trump himself is expected to be there.
So, Rishabh, could Europe also retaliate? Any word on that? Could there be a similar retaliation from Europe or possibly some restrictions as well on American companies or on the United States?
Well, European economy is not in the shape, frankly speaking, where you can have those, strict or stern measures being taken by European companies. Yes, symbolically, you can see certain statements coming in from France, Germany, and Spain. But if you see EU as a whole, there are countries who are heavily dependent on the United States. There are companies who are heavily dependent on the trade with the United States. And hence, such stern measures being taken by European countries is something which looks very unimaginable right now.
Okay, all right. But the entire threat saga that we're seeing unfold also really underlines what Trump actually means and what it could mean for trading with the United States, that anything can happen anytime. Trump is going to make an announcement. The next day it could come into effect. So there is a lot of suspense over what could happen next and that ambiguity on what could be the next step of the United States, because one day Trump says this and then there is suddenly another change. We have more updates now coming in. Amid the ongoing row over Greenland, Denmark has in fact firmly rebuffed the US President Donald Trump's attempts regarding the territory. The Danish foreign minister slamming what he called was pressure tactics, stating that the US cannot force Europe, and the Greenland takeover bid has been rejected. Officials emphasizing that Europe will not bow down, while Denmark has offered talks. It opposes any threats or coercion in the matter. So, Rishabh, clearly there is some resistance coming in. We don't know what could happen next, but as of now there is some stiff resistance coming into the claims that are being made by the United States, by Donald Trump.
Well, definitely. See, Denmark is very clear that the way Donald Trump is claiming Greenland, the way Donald Trump has been time and again putting forward the demand that Greenland should be given to the United States, it is against the sovereignty of Denmark. Greenland is an autonomous region which comes under Denmark, and Denmark government has been very clear that this is an embarrassment. This is disregard to the sovereignty of Denmark, and hence it needs to stop as soon as possible. The Foreign Minister of Denmark, along with the Foreign Minister of Greenland, was in Washington last week. They met the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, along with the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. The talks did not have had any conclusion. The visiting dignitaries returned back to their native places, but Denmark has been very clear that US needs to stop. Also, the major worry for European Union here is that Denmark again is a partner in NATO forces as well. So if Donald Trump has his own way, then NATO charter does not have any local stand-by, and then the NATO is disintegrated, and through NATO, the whole campaign that Europe has been running to support Ukraine, that goes to the bin.
Okay, all right, stay with us, Rishabh. Let's get our viewers more updates.